Hello guys and girls, Voices from the Dark here, and welcome to my tutorial series on how to create your own Skyrim adventures. I am the creator of the Kijor series and the Frostbite Chronicles, another Skyrim roleplay series where we have our own custom team with custom dialogue and custom objectives and where we have our own adventures, and a lot of people have wanted to do the same. To varying degrees. Some people just want to be able to add a custom follower into their game, while others may want to go as far as actually making them talk with their own custom voices. I'm going to try and show you all of that step by step, but I'll probably divide up the video so the people who don't need all the info don't have to sit through all the info. So we'll start with the very basic, how you can actually add characters in the creation kit and in Skyrim. In this first episode, I'm going to show you how to obtain the creation kit, how to get it to properly work, and then we will make one follower for your character. Now you can have unlimited followers in Skyrim if you just get the right mods, but we will get to that in due time. For now we're just going to focus on one follower. So the first thing you'll need is Steam. You will need Skyrim on Steam. As far as I know, I don't know if it works outside of Steam, if you can import it, but usually having Skyrim on Steam is good. I think it has to be a legal copy. I'm not 100% on that, but the creation kit, which is the tool that we are going to be making the characters in, is located right here on Steam. You have to go to, this is in Norwegian, I'm terribly sorry about that, but you need to go to Library, which is going to be the second tab here. You need to go down to Tools. At the moment it seems to be 95 tools. And then you'll get a huge list of different tools for different games. Now you need to go down to S and look for the Skyrim Creation Kit. It's up here at the top because I favorited it. And you need to install it. And once that has been installed, then you could technically just launch it up and then go on your way. But if you want to use content from the DLC like Dawnguard, Dragonborn or HearthFires, there's a new step you have to do. Unless you want it to crash when you're trying to load those master files, because at the moment the creation kit does not support the master file, meaning we have to make it support the master file. So you need to navigate to your Skyrim folder. Now this is usually located at program files. I don't have this in program files. Steam-steamapps-common, and then Skyrim. That's like the path name that it most commonly is under. And you'll find a little icon here called SkyrimEditor.ini. And this little file can be opened up in your basic notepad. And when you do, you will get something that looks like this, pretty much. And there's a lot of different numbers and it's all super confusing and scary. We need to make two small changes to this file to be able to load multiple master files, meaning you can implement Dawnguard and Dragonborn resources into your world, which is cool because that adds more armor, more possibilities, and it's cool. So the first thing you want to do is right up here near the top, we need to add a little something. We need to type in bAllowMultipleMasterLoads equals 1. This will allow us to load multiple master files. But now we also need to set which master files those are. So you have to find another section of this document. An easy way to find this section is to press Ctrl F, so you get the search function. Or you can just find it by hand, whatever you prefer. And you are looking for the archive. So we'll type in archive and we'll hit search. Again, I'm sorry that it's in Norwegian, but you'll be able to follow along. And you will find this right here. Now what we're looking for is this SResourceArchiveList2. And on default it should say Shaders.bsa and Update.bsa. This does not include any of the expansions. So even if you don't have these expansions, if you're planning on getting them, this could be good to add. We'll just add a little comma, and then we'll do the first expansion, Dawnguard.bsa. This basically makes the list accept Dawnguard as a master file when you try to load it. Comma, Dragonborn.bsa, comma, HearthFires.bsa for some reason. I don't think I've ever used any resources from that, but it's there. It's a thing. Then you just go to File, Save, or hit Ctrl S. And if you ever mess up anything in your Skyrim editor and it's just not working, I believe you can actually just delete the file. And the next time you start up the creation kit, it will create like a basic Skyrim editor for you. So you can just configure that one again. I believe it does that. That's how it is for... That... Okay. That's a honking. Somebody's really, really not having it with me teaching you the creation kit. They must be jealous. Jealous construction workers. Okay. Now that that's done, you should have the Skyrim creation kit all ready to start, so you can go ahead and launch it up. You should be presented with a window that is pretty similar to this, but if there are... Oh, are you serious? What I wanted to say is that you don't have to fear this interface looking different. Like, as long as you have the important object window, render window, cell view, where really the only important thing is the object window, then you're good to go. Like, there are a few things that you can like reset and open. You can create new object windows and you can hide them. There's like a lot of little things you can do here, so just mess around with that if you want to tweak it to your liking. Now, this is the basic creation kit. There is actually nothing special in this one because we haven't loaded anything, which is the first thing that we will need to do. So we will open this up. Okay, now that Norway has made sure that the air raid sirens are properly working, because they are. They are. I checked, I confirmed. Then we will need to load you need to load all the master files that you would like. So like Skyrim Update, Dragonborn, HearthFires, Dawnguard. Now, we want to use these in our project. So we're going to press OK when loading those. And the one thing you have to know about using the creation kit is that you will get a lot of errors often when loading. And it's nothing to be afraid about. And it will often do this too. It'll stop responding. Just be patient. A lot of patience is required when working with the software, but there's nothing dangerous. This is just totally normal. And because of the steps we did earlier, I got a warning. I'll pull it over here. You'll find, oh, could not find this and this. You want to press the button that is to the far right. It's supposed to say yes to all, I think, but in Norwegian this means cancel. So if this button is confusing in your language, then you are not alone. Just press like the far right button for whatever warnings it wants to pop in your face. Get away from her. We don't care. Nope, we do not care. So you might get different errors too, but it should load up just fine. And because we did all the little fixes in the Skyrim.editor, in the SkyrimEditor.ini file, that means we can now load everything and it should work just as we want it to work, and we can get to work on creating our first proper follower. And there we go! The creation kit is successfully loaded. It might take a while, so don't worry. Right here we have a little overview of the different sections. Let me just tell you, I know what like two of all these buttons up here do. I don't know what have these menus show. But I'm still able to create what I create because I just know exactly what I'm going to do. And I can help you with just that. So this won't be like a basic, this is how the whole thing works. This is just how to do what you want to do. We have different categories here, which we can take a quick look at, which contain different things. Actors, audio, characters, items, magic, miscellaneous, special effects, world data. I know what some of these means. Let's just focus on the actor tab for now, then we'll go to actor, and it'll load up. And here's the full list of actors, including all the DLC actors. That's quite a lot, you might say. How do you keep this organized? Well, you use a prefix. Let's say you wanted to create a follower named, I don't know, Hedwig. And let's say your name in real life was John or something. Then you would start off every single file with the prefix John. So you would have John Hedwig as the name, for example, like John Hedwig, or like whatever you choose as a prefix, doesn't matter. Like I, for a prefix, have VFTD because Voices from the Dark is my name. Now, obviously, you won't find anything here because this is not my file. But what you want to do once you have loaded up a file like this is that you want to save it. And when you try to save it, it will ask you to save it as a .esp file. And this file, you can call it something that's like related to you and something that you'll recognize, like John's Skyrim World. I just like to play it safe when I make names, not make too many spaces and stuff. And you can just save it as that, and then you just hit save. And then from now on, whenever you decide to, of course, cancel that. And then let's say you close the creation kit. You're done for the day, you save, because you always save before you close, right? And then you close it. But then you suddenly decide, I gotta do some more in the creation kit. How would you find it again? Well, I'm about to show you. So once the creation kit is loaded up again, you just hit open. Then it's usually at the bottom, isn't it? Yes, it is. Then you hit John's Skyrim World. We can see that these are the parent master files that we have loaded. And you hit set as active file. Now you don't have to trigger any of these. As long as you do set as active file and press OK, it will automatically open all the other files needed for the project as well. And so you can open this project and make it work. Now we'll show how to make the Skyrim launcher detect this file later. But for now we're going to move over to my own file, VFTD, and we're going to take a look at making a follower. And there we go, my VFTD file is loaded. I would like to emphasize once again that order is important. Apparently I have no... Oh, there we go, there's a render window. Like, in a program that contains as many files as this program, it's important with order. Like right now, if I was like, I want to edit my Alienor file, I'll go in VFTD, okay, here's my Alienor actor. Let's open the Alienor old one to not spoil her new appearance in Season 3. I'm like, okay, so how does Alienor look? You'll probably start at the Traits tab. Let's get a preview of you. Oh, cool. We'll drag that preview out a bit. Then we'll zoom in, and there we go. That's how Alienor looks. Can change anything I want. So having a good prefix, very important for your file. So maybe make it all caps, make it short. Just make it something that's not already sort of taken by the game, like VFTD, because that's just a stupid prefix. Now, I would like to touch upon the topic of the voice type of the follower that you are going to be making, because there are actually some restrictions, because not all voice types in this game is compatible with being a follower. So if you're not going to make your own voice type, you need to choose a voice type from the list, meaning you have to choose one that is actually compatible. I found this list online. I used a different list back in the day, but I couldn't find it this time. And so the voices for the followers you can marry and adopt, because those are new options, like the Brute, Eventone, Nord, Orc, Young, Eager. I can leave this list down below and you can see if you have like the right voice. Like if you're wondering, I want to make a Khajiit follower, then yes, the male Khajiit, he can be a follower. But if you look, you can't see any female Khajiit, meaning if you use the female Khajiit voice type, you can't make that into a follower, unfortunately. But I've heard that there are actually mods to fix this, but I don't know anything about that. But for the purposes of this video, we will be sticking with one of the default voice types, because I assume that it wouldn't be good to go in and make like a custom voice follower straight off the bat. So bye-bye to you, and let's get started making ourselves a follower. Now, what could be a good idea is starting out with like one of the characters here. Like, let's choose somebody like Advild. You sound good. We're gonna make this our base for making a character, so we don't have to start from the very beginning, although we have to change a lot of this. How do you look? Ooh, Advild. Very, very majestic, but sadly not what we're looking for. We need to change the ID. This will not overwrite him. This will prompt us to create a new one, which is what we want, because we don't want to overwrite any of the files already in here, because then we could really be in trouble. So we gotta always be careful with overwriting. Now, of course, since my prefix is VFTD, that's what we will call it. And in this tutorial, we are going to be making, perhaps I should make one of the characters from my series that I actually have yet to make and that I should make. No, for this purpose, we will just make a random character. Let's make a man called Man. His name is Man. And he is pretty freaking rad. So Man. And then once you've selected the ID, press OK. Now, it will say that, oh, you've changed the ID. Do you want to make a new form? If you say no, this form will be overwritten and this will take its place, which is not what we want when messing with the base files of the game. So we want to create a new form? Yes. And that will automatically create it for us. Now, where is he? Well, we can just filter it out. VFTD. Man. There he is. Now, there's a lot of things we have to change about him. So I will go through just what we have to change. First of all, let's get a preview going. This is a little preview window where you can like navigate around. It might take some getting used to. Left mouse is dragging, and then mouse wheel is scrolling. and holding down mouse wheel means that you can navigate like this, and that's like the main movement that I use personally. If you find that the speed is too great when you're moving around, you can right click and you can change like the rotation speed and zoom speed and pan speed. You can change all of that in the preferences by right clicking on the window, so it might take a while to get used to, but that's really nothing that can be done about that. So you have a preview of either his full body or his head. Previewing just the head gives the benefit that whenever you make a change to this character, it will appear in real time. The disadvantage is that certain things like scars will not appear in the head view, and obviously you don't get to see the beautiful body of his. So, Man, we don't want him to be a Nord. Man is going to be an Imperial. So let's make him an Imperial. Little side note, if you ever find yourself with a character that has a beard and you switch to female, you might get some very nasty effects. In that case, whoops, okay, careful when you choose other races here, because you can get some pretty cool races, like you can make your own dragons and stuff. If we go back to Imperial race now, it should work without a beard. There we go. So when switching between these two, it's often good to reload to not have any bearded women, because we will not, indeed, be creating a circus. Not today, maybe another day. So, reload the Imperial race, he is all ready to go. Now you can change his height, his weight, skin, doesn't matter too much. His voice type, that is something that does matter. Now, there's a list down below of the different voices. We will be using male even tones, because I know that... Actually, no, let's use the Nord one that fits man more. But then again, he's an Imperial. Let's use even tone then. So we know that this voice type is actually compatible, which is why we are going to be using it. And this voice type can actually also marry and adopt, so it's like a good mix. Okay, so now that we have him going, everything here looks good. If you want to make him a follower, then you often want him to be essential and never die. This is pretty much up to you, but I prefer my own followers not to die, because I use them in many circumstances where I need them to be in like cutscenes and stuff, so I can't really have them die on me, but this is up to you. So I'm going to tick essential, and that he is unique. Those are the ones I'm going to tick. Also, it could be good to tick doesn't affect stealth meter, meaning that when you sneak and he sees you, it won't show up, because it's pretty pointless to have that. Also, we don't need any scripts here as far as I'm concerned. And we're going to move on to the stats. Now, this is pretty interesting here. You can choose a class, and the class will have like predetermined skills, but of course you can change this as you see fit by offsetting this by, let's say, 11, causing it to be 35 one-handed. And you can adjust your stats as you want to. Let's give him like a guard stat, maybe. Does that actually change anything? I don't know how that works. But regardless of that, let's say that this follower's level, it's going to be level 20. Like, you can make, and once you do auto-calc, it'll calculate what he would have at level 20. And you can, of course, offset this to give him more health or more stamina if you wish to. These are like little details that you can tweak later on. This is where you make him strong, have more magicka or stamina, and such. Furthermore, we'll remove all of his factions, because they won't be relevant. The only faction that will be important to us are two factions. If we want to make him a follower, we need to do two things. The first one we need to add, let's just type in follower to sort them out a little, because there are a lot of them. We need current follower faction, and then you need to press over here by rank until you can select it, -1. That needs to be current follower faction, rank -1. Let's make a new one. Once again, follower and potential follower faction. We don't need to do anything with this. This is one that's going to stay at 0. So when you have these two, he can be a follower. But in order to be a follower, he needs to trust you. And we're going to do that right here with the relationship. We can force him to be in a relationship with us, which is just what we are going to do. The parent NPC need to be the NPC in question, VFTD man. Man is pretty cool. Then we need to type in player and find the child NPC, which is the player. The relationship level, you can set this to a lot of different things, but we need ally. And that's it. Set the child to be player and the relationship level to be ally. You can now talk to him in game if he has a compatible voice type and get him to follow you. Bada bing, bada boom. That's the most basic. Also, essential seems to be unticked a few times. Then I think it helps to tick it and then press OK and then maybe reopen and it should save that stat. Yes, that seems to work. Okay. That does cause him to turn his back on me though. Man. Why do you gotta do this? I thought we had something. I thought we were glorious. Yes. Keywords. We do not need any farmer keywords, because man is no farmer. We will change that appearance soon enough. The AI data is... the AI data is pretty important. His aggression level will choose whether he'll assist you in combat. Unaggressive won't attack. Aggressive, he will attack. Very aggressive, he'll attack at a bigger range, I believe. And frenzied, he'll pretty much attack everything. I like very aggressive or just simply aggressive. They fit for my companions, unless you're making somebody who's afraid, but man ain't scared of nothing. Now the mood is pretty... It can be pretty important. If you just want a neutral mood, you can set it to neutral and then like set 50 and he can be all good, but man, he's seen some things, man. Man's gonna have like a 90 angry mood. Goes up to 100. And you can choose what kind of crime he will do. And man's down for anything, frankly. He'll help out his friends and allies, and his confidence is foolhardy, meaning that he will never back away from combat. He will rather die than run away. These other ones are like how quick they are to run away from a combat situation, like you usually see the enemy do. Now, the combat style. I can't really tell you a lot about this, other than that, well, it obviously affects how they fight. I haven't actually figured it out very much myself. One thing I have noted, though, is that if you want a follower to dual wield, you will need to choose this one, CS Force 1 Berserker Low. That's the combat style you need, and then 2 weapons, and then they seem to be dual wielding. So let's try to make him dual wield just for the purposes of this demonstration. I mean, man, 2 names, 2 swords, makes sense. AI packages. You don't need anything. There are, of course, things you can add here. Add it to your heart's desire if you know how it works. But I kind of don't. I just know what I need to know. I just know the essentials. Now here's the interesting part, the outfit. If you, for example, are not satisfied with any of the current outfits here, you might have to refresh to make them appear. That was just a little variation. What about this one? Ooh, fine clothes. He's turning fancy. A guard outfit. If you don't like any of these and want to like have a custom outfit on them, although there's a pretty big selection here, but sometimes they just don't have what you need, you know? Then you can do that, but you don't actually want to add things here. Like, let's say I wanted to get a steel helmet, STE, steel arrow, dagger. This is the wrong way to go about doing it, by the way, because armor is sorted under armor, steel. Okay, so now that we're under armor steel, let's give him like a helmet. If you now oh, he's actually wearing it. But often when you place items in the inventory, they will not actually use it. Let's switch that to none and none. They will not actually use the item when you go into the game. To fix this, you can actually create your own outfits and then apply that to him, which is what we're going to be doing right now. To do this, it is often useful to create several object windows, so you can actually right-click anywhere and create new object window. So now we'll have 2 object windows to work with, which will improve our workflow. Let's go to Items, Outfit. Now, I wonder if I've already made any VFTD outfits. I have not, okay. So let's then type in, actually there's no need to have a prefix there when you're making it. Let's make a new one, VFTD man outfit 1. Seems like an okay name. Then we can of course filter it and also type your own initials correct. And you will get this. Let's open it up. And oh, seems rather empty. What do we do here? Well, you pretty much drag and drop. So in this other window, let's go to armor and let's decide on what kind of armor he's going to be wearing. Let's make it... Ooh, maybe Daedric's too cool for him. He's not that cool. Let's do some steel stuff. Let's give him some steel boots and steel cuirass. But then the whole point of making him this way is that we can give him whatever we want. So let's give him some Dawnguard gear from the DLC, because you can add DLC stuff too. So we have boots and like a chest plate. So let's get some heavy Dawnguard gauntlets maybe. And do we want him to have a helmet? Yes, but it would have to be like an open helmet. What kind of helmet is open? Let's get that Dovahkiin iron helmet going. Iron helmet. There we go. So now he will have a helmet, boots, gloves, and then like a big chest piece. Okay, so now we created our own special outfit. So let's press OK. And now we have VFTD man outfit made. Good. You can close this window now. Let's go back to actor. And let's look for man. Where are you? There you are, man. Missed you, buddy. Let's open him up. Let's get the preview going again. Now, again, it is not certain that he will be wearing this one going in game. I've had some bad experiences with giving them items in their inventory and they just won't use it. If it works for you, then fine, but I would just like to prepare you for the situation where it does not work. Let's go to default outfit, VFTD. Oh, look at this. VFTD man outfit 1. Refresh. And there we go, that's how we made him. Steel, Dawnguard, iron helmet. All custom. Now the weapons. The weapons will need to be made. I'm not sure if you need to have geared up weapons too to be able to dual wield. I don't know that. What is he going to be using? Like 2 swords. What is a cool sword? Oh, let's do like a... Let's go basic here. Let's go steel sword. And then we can do something fun. Let's make like a custom steel sword just so I can show you how that's done. Double click this, and again, you don't want to overwrite anything. Go to ID, add your prefix before the steel sword, press OK. Create a new form? Yes, because you don't want to mess with the original. Then you want to, and you can delete this one, and then go to new. I believe we can add it now. No, we cannot. So here's what you need to do. Once you've done that, you need to go and press OK. You need to back out of the file. You might as well save at this point. Then you need to re-enter the file. And at this point, you should be able to create the swords. I'm hoping I'm not deviating too much from what I was going to do here. VFTD steel sword. There we go. So let's open up this sword here. This is going to be the sword of justice. You can give it a description like, this sword shines bright and cuts deep. And you can choose what kind of equip type it is. You can choose an enchantment. So let's get a cool enchantment going for this one. Chaos damage. I didn't even know that was a thing. Sweet. Absorb stamina. No, let's get an absorb health. So these are like the different degrees of power. Let's get like a absorb health 3. Enchantment. I'm not 100% sure. I think it's like how much of a charge it has. What the maximum is, I'm not 100% sure, but of course the value needs to be a lot higher for this one. You can choose the weight, customize it, the reach, the speed, crit damage. You can customize a lot of things. You can even change the art and the sound of the weapon itself, but that gets a little too advanced for my taste. So yeah, VFTD steel sword, the sword of justice, used in the right hand. Pretty cool. We should probably up the damage a little though. Let's get that damage up to 20. Good. Okay, now that we have this, we can create ourselves another one. Let's open this and type in VFTD Steel Sword 2, press OK, create new form, go out, just to make the creation kit understand that, oh, I need to reload my assets, and oh, there was a new sword here. How neat. New object, change it to VFTD Steel Sword 2. I'm not sure if you have to make this one be left hand, but we're just going to do it just in case. This sword shines more. And then this one has a different enchantment, like this one has Absorb Magicka or something. And does the same amount of damage, sort of Justice too. Just to show you that they're different. So now he has a sword for his left hand and his right hand. Plus that he has his cool armor. Now, he'll probably just appear with one weapon as far as I'm concerned. I think most models in the game do that. But he looks pretty cool, doesn't he? Well, you can also add a spell here if you would like him to fight. Like, let's say I wanted him to, like, be able to restore health a little. Restoration. That is not what you want to type if you want to have restore health. What do you want to type if you want to restore health? Heal, sorry. Heal. Like, let's say I wanted him to have the grand healing spell. I could add that and make sure he has enough magicka to cast it, that he's a magic user. You can also add perks here, which I believe can be perks like shouting. Like, you can make them do special magic stuff here. We won't focus on that, though. But it's not too difficult to do. Now, we don't need anything else other than these last two here. Character gen parts and character gen morphs. Gen is probably short for generation, I would assume. So this is where we will generate... Generation? Yeah. This is where we will generate how he looks. So usually when doing the face, giggity, you want to click on head so you can see all the changes in real time. Like I can make him pale, like me. I can make him dark, like a red guard. I can select any color of the rainbow. I can make this guy pink if I wanted to. The game's not really letting me though. Oh, it's freaking out at my selection here. Yeah, okay, it's kind of crazy. Let's see, can I make him blue? And there we go. He's blue, dabby dee buddy da. So that's how you can change that. He's born up here in the north. Man is pretty cool. So he's gonna be pretty pale. You can change a lot of things, like give him a different like eye socket color if you need some of that extra blush, but he doesn't. He's not into that stuff. So there's a lot of things you can change. This is also how you apply war paint. You set a value between 0 and 10, and that's how strongly it will show. And then you select the color of it. Now these are like the default colors, like different shades of red and blue. That looks more like black, but I guess there's a little bit of blue in it. Then you can, of course, just select whatever color your heart desires. Boom. And they're golden. So there's a lot of little things that you can do, and you have a lot more like freedom here than you do in the other creation kit, because here you can just paste a lot of these like on top of each other. So now he has 2 types of war paints at once. Pretty cool. Now over here are the most important things, the eyes and the hair. They define you. So let's get the eyes to be brown and bloodshot. No, that's the Marthar style. We can go with that. Blind on one eye, not too bad. Let's give him a cooler hairstyle though. He needs something really, really fancy. What are we gonna have for you, man? Then again, we're not really gonna be able to see or hear, but when you do remove that helmet, everybody needs to be able to look upon your face. You can of course go out here at any time and see how he will look with this current gear. He's not looking too shabby. This is how you can create your follower and make them look however you desire. And of course, you can just go down the list, add dirt to his face too even. So that's how this works. It's fairly obvious. Hair colors here, face complexion if you want to make him look older. All of that stuff is located right there. Now, this one goes into the more fine details of the face. Like, for example, the eye type and the nose type. And of course, you have sliders for the length and the height of all of these things. So you can just like not really drag and drop, but you have full control over just how your character looks, which is really freaking cool. It is also possible to import faces from your game into the creation kit itself, which I believe you do here at the import button, but I can show you how to do that later. For now though, here is our character. Let's toggle that once more, doesn't affect stealth meter. And we're almost done. Let me just go through once more the character that we have created before I show you him in game. Here he is, VFTD Man. Man is pretty cool, he's ready. We made him a custom outfit. He has a dual wielding sword fighting style. We made him an awesome beard, an awesome face with 2 kinds of war paint just to show the flexibility of this software. We've made him a level 20. You can adjust his stats as you see fit. You can make him even like level with you. I've never really understood how that works, and it's never really been a very big important part of what I do. -1 to current follower faction, 0 to the potential follower faction, and then set his relationship to the child NPC, which is the player, to be ally. And so he can be your follower if, of course, he has to write voice type. Again, important. Keywords don't need any. AI data, we made him have the CS Force Run Berserker low because I believe there's probably several, maybe more, but at least that one gives you like the dual wielding capability in a follower. He's going to be in an angry mood with 90% energy, which is pretty strong. He helps out his friends, he's foolhardy and aggressive. No AI packages. Inventory, this is where we made the outfit. We also made custom swords. Again, careful that you don't overwrite anything. If you want to add other stuff in his pocket, you can, like gold. This is, yeah, I think this is the correct gold. Like, let's give him 6,000 gold pieces. Pretty cool. Or like, if you wanted to be really generous, like 9,001 gold pieces. So if you defeat him, that is what you will find in his inventory. There are also items which will like generate a random item upon death, which can be cool if you're making some sort of enemy, like loot bandit armor 100, you'll get a good piece of bandit armor randomly. Spell list is where you can add spells and shouts. It's pretty self-explanatory. Although some of this, you can get a lot of weird spell effects in that list, so just like be careful when choosing. And of course, this is where we can generate how he looks. We can even import faces if we want to, and you can change a lot. And of course, you can preview how his face will look if he does like the different expressions, and that is pretty cool though. So, he's essential, he's unique, because there's just going to be one item at a time, and it does not affect my stealth meter. Now then, if you went into the game, his face would not look right. He would be discolored, and he would probably lack some features, like let's say, I'm not sure if scars disappear, but that's one thing I can show you, how to add scars. I'm sorry, because this took me a while, and so I figured if anybody else is struggling on how to add scars, then I might as well help out. This is the section where you want to add scars. Whoa, that was a lot of flimmy. You want to go to character in your object window, head part, while this window is also open. And then under head parts, we need to of course remove this VFTD filter. Go to mail and find yourself what is called Marks Male Humanoid. Here we have the gaseous. If you're a Khajiit or an Argonian, you will need to look for Scar, but for humans you can just search for Gash and you will find it. Now you pretty much have to just drop these in and see just how they look. Like, let's get it. It's going to be really difficult to see gashes though. That is going to be a... Can I like get some visual clue that I'm actually adding them? Let's see. Oh, right. I made a basic mistake here. You cannot see scars when you're in head view. You gotta go out to full view. I really hope I did not mess up his face and it's now full of scars. Not that we can see them anyways, but... Yeah, there we go. He has scars on his cheek, which are visible enough. We can make him take off his helmet in game and show it. So that's how you will drag and drop scars and make it all look good. Now, as I said, if you go into the game, he will be discolored. He will not look right. There's a thing you need to do. So if you created a lot of NPCs, select them all, and then you need to press... Well, for me, the button is to the right of my spacebar, like Alt and F4. But if you press the normal Alt and F4, it'll just close the object window and you'll just have to open a new object window. But if you press that, it'll say export face gen data for all selected NPCs. You want to do this whenever you made adjustments to an NPC. And as you can see, this is going through some of my characters. And it is exporting their face data, meaning they will now appear properly in-game. Save it, and let's go to the Skyrim launcher when you try to launch it from Steam. So here we are, the Elder Scrolls Skyrim. Play the game. And you, of course, get the good old Skyrim launcher. Now you need to go to data files. Now I have a lot of data files because I have a lot of mods. You need to locate your mod, which for me is VFTD.1.esp. And you need to make sure that it is indeed selected and probably up near the top. You can modify the load order like this, then press OK. And once that's done, you can pretty much just hit play. So let's go and see if we can't find him. Now we haven't actually placed him anywhere in the world. Right now we just want to try and... I'll show you how to spawn in a character that you have not physically placed anywhere. Alright, here I am in the world of Skyrim. I'm on a character called Valerie Moonwrath. We are in Solitude, and now I want to spawn in Man, but he's not located anywhere in the Skyrim world. So you might be wondering, just how are we gonna find him? Well, first of all, we need to open console commands. And to get this little... Ignore everything that's there, it's not supposed to be there. Well, to open it, you need to press the tilde key. What's the tilde key? It's a key above your tab, but below your escape key? To the left of your 1 key? It has like a symbol that I'll show on screen. Yes, you need to press this key, and once you've managed to press this key, which I believe could be difficult on some keyboards, so it's kind of a clunky key, we need to figure out his code, his ID. And to do that, we need to type help, followed by his name. So man-man. There we go. Easy to find. But let's say we were looking for a different sort of NPC, like let's say we wanted to find a farmer named Lund. Help Lund. We would get up a lot of bandits plunderer berserkers, because Lund is a part of the word plunderer. So you would have to scroll through the list by using page up and page down until we could find the farmer named Lund, right there in the middle. So that's what you have to do if you're struggling to find it in a sea of names, but hopefully you won't have to do that. Help man. Then you need to place him somewhere. We want to place him by the player, so we type player dot place at me in one word. Then we type in his code 0805 bfab, which is the best code I've ever gotten for a follower. It seems to be random. And then you can choose an amount, but of course, if you just want 1, you don't have to type in an amount. You don't even have to type 1. You're just all fine. Boom. Player.plays at me, and the codes. Yeah. And he pops up next to you. Now, I went back and gave him the Nord voice for some... I'm doing some testing on him. So now he has the Nord voice. So, hey, it fits him kind of as well. Hey.
Speak, elf.
So we can see that his face is working, he looks like he's supposed to, he has his scars, so let's say follow me.
Let's not waste any time.
Come on, you big old brute. What?
I'm still here.
Okay, so my mod that makes me have followers had a little error, but it seems to work just fine. So look at this.
What do you need to take?
We can now trade with our dear follower. He has the Sword of Justice and the Sword of Justice too. Of course, they're not very roleplay or lore friendly, but that's not really my point here. The random piece of bandit armor turned out to be hide boots, and of course he has the gold. I'll take that and I'll become filthy rich. And now you can also give him like your own stuff if you wanted to, if you wanted him to use some of your own stuff, but it has to be better than what he already has, because he will determine that himself. So you can take things from him. And now he will be our follower and join us on our quest to slay everybody. Hey, you! And now Man should jump into combat, look at that! With 2 shields. It is sort of dark out here at night, I probably should have chosen a better time of day. Let's get a torch to light up his combat style. Yeah, that should be bright enough. So you can see he has the proper combat style right here, and I'm dead. So now he will join me in combat. I set him to be aggressive. I changed it from very aggressive to aggressive because I found that very aggressive, he actually started attacking the Solitude guards. That's not what I want you to do, man. I know you're badass and all, but that's a bit too much. So let's wait around for a little while and wait for the day so we can get like a proper look at him in the light, because when you're using E&B and graphics enhancing mods, the night times tend to be a little dark at times. There we go. So let's press him and let's do remove. I'm sorry about this, I'm gonna strip you naked right now. Remove all items. Boom. So we can have a good look at his face. His beautiful, majestic face. As you can see, several types of face paint. The beard, the hairstyle, the scars, everything is there because we exported the face generation data by pressing Alt-G and F4. So, that is how you make a follower like Man. Now there are of course other things that you can do with your follower, which we will be going through in the next part, where I will be showing you how to use commands like the flying camera, setting a speed, getting like an epic slow motion shot. Look at this guy walk in the background here. I need something to move if we're gonna have a cool slow motion shots. Well, there we go, check this out. Dun dun dun. And getting all sorts of like crazy things like that. How to like record and properly make it seem like a machinima cutscene thing. That's something that will come in the future. And of course adding more options to our follower, making custom dialogue. And I think I'll put this speed back now because it was annoying me. It could crash your game when you're messing with the game speed. And also making him say stuff. Like for example, this is just like for testing purposes. We have to do testing 2. There you go.
Excuse my methods.
So as you can see,
it is very easy to say that the end justify the means.
That is a line that I put into the game itself, and now he's saying that and mimicking it. Obviously the sound isn't really good, but that's something you fix in post, and that's how you make this mouth move as well. We will go through all of that and how to make a really cool looking machinima with several characters in a future part of the tutorial. Well guys and girls, I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial, and you can feel free to just stop here if you want. Make your own custom follower like Man, dress him up, and you can go on adventures together. You are no longer restricted by the NPCs of the game. Well, my name is Voices from the Dark. I hope you learned something from today's video, and I hope that you go out and make something epic. I'll see you in the next tutorial part. Goodbye!